Oh, jeez. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Okay. I kind of want to go... I guess I kind of have to go, like, pick one and try to target towards them? I kind of like... If I have to pick one, I think I'd have to pick Yuri. So let's say... horror. Ambient? Shiny. Analysis. She said she likes psych horror, so let's go disoriented. She likes universe, because she likes world building type stuff. How about daydream? Together? Let's see. Vivid, because she liked... Again, she liked that kind of vivid fantasy world building. Let's go passion. Let's say variance. How about waterfall? Breathe? I don't know if this is gonna form an actual poem, but fantasy? Let's try portrait. Journey. Nature. Philosophy. And two more. Intellectual. And... let's go heart. Let's see what happens. Hi again! Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Good. So I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise. You're welcome. I would be a real asshole if I didn't. I hope this wasn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Like he deserves any slack. Thanks, Nat. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. Nope. And last year. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. I'm sure you won't let me see the end of it, Nat. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. He always gives us his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sorry, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You guys can become good friends too. Aww. Dot dot dot. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. You know. Yuri even brought you something today, you know? What, me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. Is it food? What is it? Never mind. Is it food? Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Is it food? Oh, it's a book. Damn it. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. Aw! It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. She's so nice! And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? Because she's perfect! She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monika to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monika are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki's rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. I think she noticed me looking at her. Whoops! She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. She's cute. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I do that. I muttered to this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them? I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. I'm bad about that with books. Once I get started on a book, if I get into it, I won't stop reading it until I finish it, like half a day later. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Illuminati confirmed? Alright, I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yes, and I would totally read that. Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. I still feel like there's a lampshade hanging with this. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. I didn't forget, I put horror as one of the poem words. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. I relate to her. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. I like stories like that. And suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. Wow, I relate to her a lot. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. Oh my gosh, she's me. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop at me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to, it's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Just don't read out loud to yourself, dude. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting, especially when I'm reading a creepy horror novel. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Whoops. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk up... Bleh. I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we can lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page, and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. Soft girl. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Huh? To turn the page. Yeah, dumbass, you have to tell her. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. No kidding, because you're sitting next to soft, warm girl. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Oh my god, that writing, though. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second-guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like, she's afraid she'll do something wrong. Oh my god, this is drying out my throat real fast. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment, but that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. Flirting! What are you saying all of a sudden? Hi, Monica! I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. Oh boy. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kinda down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Ow. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read with you? Flirting! I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters on your own time. Okay, teacher. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yes-ish. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. Oh, come on, dude. Your masculinity is not that fragile, it's just a poem. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? Aw, Sayori's happy. I like it when Sayori's happy. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. Sounds about right. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself.